Hey everybody, this is Ravenous Lucas bringing you a review of Fairy Tail Chapter 384. And oh my god, this was a really good chapter. Like, this chapter was fucking great. It starts off with Lucy getting her ass kicked again, and she keeps getting her ass kicked by Jackal, who's just completely destroying her, he destroyed Aquarius, Loki, and Virgo couldn't fuck with Jackal, and they got blown up, and they're like out of the picture, but Aquarius stayed in the game, and the girl, I forgot, the little bunny ass bitch, she was holding up Lucy, and this actually made me laugh a little bit because it was kind of funny, but so Jack was like, oh, let's blow up her, well, I forgot if it was Jack who said this, but, or the bunny girl, but, I think it was the bunny girl, but, it's like, oh, let's start by, blowing up, blowing up her boobs or whatever, and then Jackal puts his face on the little bunny girl, and pretty much blows her face off, and he's like, oh, they'll tell me what to do or whatever, some shit like that, but, whew, and then, Aquarius tells Lucy that since she could summon 3 spirits at the same time, she should have the power to be able to summon the fucking Celestial King, which is the most OP fucking guy in the Celestial world. And she basically tells Lucy in order to summon the Celestial King, she needs to destroy one of the Zodiac keys. And Lucy's like all shocked and shit, and then she's like, oh, Aquarius is like, oh, destroy my key, and Lucy gets sad, she's like, no, I won't do it, no, and Aquarius keeps on talking to Lucy, do it, like you have to, your friends are in danger, and Lucy keeps on trying to resist, and basically she says, they have like a little flashback, but it wasn't a big flashback, it was just probably like 2 panels or something, of Aquarius meeting Lucy when she was a kid. And basically, Aquarius is like, oh, I always hated you, blah blah blah, and Lucy's like, oh, well, I loved you, and I still love you, and blah 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 blah. And she's just crying. It's like a really touching moment because Aquarius, like, kind of convinces her to break her key so she could summon the Celestial King, and Lucy finally destroys the key to save her friends, which shows like development for Lucy. And yeah, Virgo gets a panel where she's like crying, and then she's like, thank you, Lucy, and then she just like disappears, and Lucy's all like in tears, like hysterically crying, and it was a really sweet and sad and touching moment. I didn't cry because I'm a man, but whatever. And then you see the Celestial King come, and he fucking just slices up the cube that they're all in, the little, yeah, you know what I mean. And it says, he looks at the Demon King, and the next chapter says, Celestial King versus the Dark King. So it's basically gonna be the Celestial King versus the Demon King next chapter, which should be a really good fight. Like, it really made me hype because we never seen the Celestial King. We don't know what he could do, but he looks pretty OP. So, and the Demon King looks pretty OP too. So this has to be a great fight. Don't fuck this up, hero. You doing a good job here. Well, I talked a lot. So overall, I give this chapter a 10 out of 10. It was a really good chapter. Um, if you haven't read it, go read this shit because it was really good. And I'll check you guys out later. Peace.